Hello everyone, welcome back to the FCT YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between plant cell and animal cells, and also showing the different functions between them. Unfortunately, today we do not have Tina, so it's just me, Harry, and Kevin. So, first, how do we differentiate between them? There are quite a lot of easy ways to differentiate between the two cells. So first, in the plant cell, we have what is known as the cell wall. And if you see here in the animal cell, there's no cell wall at all. And secondly, plant cells have what is called like this green pigment called chloroplast, right? And it's essential for photosynthesis and just overall energy, providing energy for them, which you guys can see it right here. And as you guys can see, if you look at the animal cell here, it has a circular shape, right? Here, if we look at the plant cell, it has more of like a square-like shape. So that's one of the common, just how you distinguish them. And lastly, an animal cell has here centrosome and lysosome. So here, if we look at the plant cells, you can't see any of those, right? So I think that's a clear, identifiable thing for the both of them. And yeah, that's about it. Now we're gonna head on to the different functions of each organelle.
Now let's get into the specific part or the organelles of the cells and its function. So the first one is cell's membrane, right over here. They control what goes in and out of the cells like a gate, acting like a gate. And the second one is the cytoplasm, right over here. They are the jelly-like substance where all the cells activities happen. And the third one is ribosome, right over here. Yeah, they make proteins is very important for growth and repair of the cells. Next one is nucleus, is right over here. They acting like a control center of the cells. They contain DNA and controls what the cells does. And the next one is the nucleolus. They make ribosomes and help the cells to make protein. And the final one is mitochondria. They are actions where produce ATP, which is basically energy for the cells.
Hey guys, so I'll be talking about endoplasmic reticulum. So it's subdivided into two types, rough ER and smooth ER, which you can see here. Here you go. Smooth ER and rough ER. So the clear difference between these two is that you see these little pimple-like little dots here. So that's what's known as ribosomes. So what they do is they help to make protein and also transport them. And so smooth ER here, what it does is it makes fats and helps in detoxification. Okay, moving on, here's the Golgi apparatus. What it does is it packages and sends proteins to where they are needed. And yeah, that's about it. And so you guys see the shape right here, this little Wi-Fi-like shape. If you see them, that's definitely Golgi apparatus. That's one of the clear features of it. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to be talking about plant cells now instead of animal cells. So in the plant cells, there's a cell wall, right? Do you guys see this exterior right here that's covering the entire cell? So what this does is it's a strong outer layer that supports and protects the cell. It gives it its shape and maintains the shape as well. So here, you guys see these little, almost mitochondria-like, but they're not, okay? I'm just saying that because of the shape. So these green pigments are what helps with, are where photosynthesis basically happens, and it's responsible for capturing sunlight and synthesizing the food for the plant. Here, they'll look just like this. Sorry. Okay, so this is the feature that I spoke about earlier. This is the large permanent vacuole that a plant cell has. See, look at this, look at the size of this in comparison to, say, a vacuole in the animal cell. Look, you can clearly see the difference between sizes between these two cells and their vacuoles here. And so, yeah.
Moving on to the animal cells. Also, first here we have mitochondria. right over here. They acting as a powerhouse for the cells, producing ATP, which is essential energy for the cells, allowing it to carry out its functions. The next one is cells membrane, right over here. It is selectively permeable. It allows certain things to enter and leave the cells. Third one is cytoplasm, it's right over here. It's a jelly-like substance where most of the cell's chemical reaction take place. The fourth one is nucleus, it's right over here. It is a control center of the cells that contain DNA and regulates cells activity. The fifth one is nucleolus, it's right over here. They produce ribosomes, which are needed for protein synthesis. And the fifth one is ribosomes, right over here. They're responsible for make proteins that are essential for growth, repair, and the normal cell's functions. The next one, we have here ER, which is endoplasmic reticulum. Firstly, I'm gonna talk about the rough ER right over here. They has a ribosome attached to its surface, which gives it a rough appearance. It helps make and transport protein. And over here we have a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. They produce fat, which is lipid, and help detoxify harmful substances. And the final one is Golgi abatus. Modifies and packages and transport proteins and work other material to where they need it, inside or outside the cells. It works with the rough ER and the ribosome during the protein productions.
Alright, moving on to small vacuoles. These are the organelles that store water, nutrients, and waste materials. Unlike plant cells, animal cells usually have several small vacuoles rather than one large central vacuole. In plant cells, we can see this in this blue thing. It's big, it's in the center, and it's a vacuole. It's permanent. It doesn't like go out of the cell. And moving on to lysosomes, these organelles contain digestive enzymes that break down waste materials, damaged organelles, and unwanted substances within the cell. These small things are lysosomes, as you can see. And moving on to centrioles, they help organize spindle fibers during cell division, allowing the cell to divide properly. And this is the centrosomes, as you can see. Thank you for watching.